All right. We'll just be getting started here in a couple seconds, just giving everyone time to actually log in. So far, we got about 90-ish people on. So, yeah, I'll just give everyone just a couple of more minutes to get on. Also, my disclaimer, this is my first time running this Hangout with this sort of software. So just kind of give me a little bit to get my bearings a little bit. But again, we'll be getting started here real soon. Try not to take too much time today. Just get straight into it and just give you guys an understanding of what it takes, basically. And this isn't going to be one of those webinars where I'm trying to sell some crap or I'm talking about stuff that I'm not doing. The things that I'm going to be covering is just exactly what I am doing on a daily basis. It's exactly what I've done to go from zero to where I am now. And it is exactly what I am still doing. So there's a lot of people out there will say, oh, just do this and just do that. That's not the case here. Here, I'm going to just tell you exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to talk about my thinking behind what I'm doing. I'm going to share exactly what I'm doing. And by the time we're done with this webinar, you should know exactly where you are at and exactly what you need to do. Just give a couple more seconds here. Got 99 people showing up so far. Got my Rockstar energy drink and got some water to go. So we'll just give people a couple more minutes and we'll just get right into it. 11:05, and I'm gonna just start here. So again, Rob Fraser here. What I'm going to be talking about is centered around Traffic Monsoon. Now, I know some people who are following me know that I'm in a few different opportunities and I have a few different funnels going. And the reason for that is, testing, finding out how to make more money faster, and just basically taking that same thing and sharing that with folks who are actually following me. I do appreciate the kind words from everybody. Also, I'm just assuming that everyone can hear me because I'm just chatting away here. So if you can hear me and audio and everything's good, just yes, we can hear you. So just get on with it or whatever you want to type there. But again, talking about Traffic Monsoon as the main opportunity, but sound is clear. Okay, good. But yes, Traffic Monsoon is the main opportunity, but understand that it could be any opportunity. So if you're in Four Corners, promoting Power Lead System, any other rev share, my paying, there's so many different other things out there and so many different people who may be watching this. So just understand that any business can be slid into place because the reason why this thing works is because of the traffic. I had a guy in the Marine Corps. I'm going to tell my KB story. I'm going to tell my KB story, and then we'll get right into it. Joined the Marine Corps, first time away from home. We graduated boot camp. We got out, we're done with all the basic training, and we're out in what's called the fleet. And so first time away from home, we're all single, young men. None of us are married, and we're living in a barracks. So we go out, Fridays and Saturdays. Well, there's this one guy named KB. He was a pretty heavy set, sort of greasy looking guy. He would take off his shirt and he would still have a sweater on. One of those type guys. He's just always kind of sweaty, always kind of greasy, had his, slicked hair and different things like that. And the rest of us, we were into lifting weights and working out and wearing the tight, skin tight shirts and things like that. So we would all go out to the club, and KB would immediately immediately, before we even got a drink and, you know, got our liquid courage going, he would immediately start to approach every single woman in the club. Every single woman in the club without missing a beat. As soon as we walked into the bar, he would just walk up straight. Group of 3 girls would be dancing. He would go up to the one. She would give him a dirty look. He would move on to the next. She would give him a dirty look. He would move right on to her friend, keeping in line with the music. And he would just do this throughout the whole club. The rest of us would be sitting on the wall like wallflowers, laughing at the guy. But the thing is, every single night he found someone to dance with and or take home. So the point is, he played the numbers and he took emotion out of it. And it was just almost pure calculation. He knew what he wanted. He knew it. He would face some rejections. He knew some people would give him dirty looks and the whole deal. But the point is, he just went without hesitation and approached every single woman in the club until he found someone to hang out with him or dance with him. Or you get the point. Again, the point is, he took emotion out of it. He didn't care if he was laughed at. He didn't care if people did whatever. He just went about his mission. And so taking that same mentality, you have to apply it to what we're doing here. And it's just that simple. It is really just that simple. So when I tell people to just continue buying traffic, I'm not saying that for shits and giggles or to hear my own self speak or to pound my chest. I'm saying that because that's what it took for me. In the beginning, nobody knew who I was. Nobody was paying attention to my YouTubes. Nobody was reading my blog post. I just kept hammering videos, blog posts, and buying traffic. And I just kept hammering it and hammering it and hammering it and hammering it until I started getting traction. And so, same thing. In the beginning, I had a lot of emotion attached to my lack of results, if you will. I would put out 10, 15 videos and would get pissed off that I didn't make any sales or get any signups. I bought my first solo ad and I didn't get any immediate signups. And it's just like, you know, what do I have to do to make this thing work? And the only thing I did was just kept persisting. And you will go through some emotions in this journey. And I'm going to talk about that when I pull up my PowerPoint. So all that being said, I'm actually get right on into it. I just check the numbers. We got about half people showed up. I pretty much anticipated that. There will be a replay, and I think this will upload it to my YouTube channel. But again, by the end of this webinar, it's my intention to get you to understand how you need to think when it comes to buying traffic, the schedule. Again, we're using Traffic Monsoon. You have to understand how the ad packs work and a general idea. And then once we're done, you're going to know exactly where you are. So with that being said, I'm going to try and pull up my presentation here. Let me know if everything works well. I got to find my screen sharing idea here. All right, screen share. So I'm gonna just hope that everyone can see my slideshow whenever it decides to pop up here. Also, if someone is on Facebook, send me a message saying, yes, we can see the slideshow. And I'm actually looking at my phone on Facebook so I can see if my slideshow on the Hangout is working. And it's not a long slideshow. We're just going to hammer it real fast because I'm not one to be doing these presentations and all this kind of stuff. So if somebody out there Renee or anybody on Facebook, shoot me a Facebook message saying, yes, we can see your screen, because I'm out of the Hangout there. So I'm just waiting for someone to shoot me a quick message or so. Or actually, I'm going to just log out here and see. It's working. Okay. All right. I'll take that. Everything working fine. Okay, good. So this is just what we're going to talk about. Scaling website traffic. Broke man's traffic plan. Basically, this is what I did in the beginning to scale up my traffic. And again, this is centered around Traffic Monsoon. I do want to say that Traffic Monsoon is not the catch-all, end-all. It is just one part of it's one cog in the wheel. So with that being said, moving on, going to talk about how to get massive and continuous traffic through this innovative strategy. And not really innovative. It's just when you're broke, okay, when you don't have money, you need to figure out ways of making things work. I knew that I need to get more people to see my offer. The only way I could do that outside of cranking out thousands of videos and writing thousands of blog posts fighting off carpal tunnel syndrome is to buy traffic. I didn't have the budget to buy traffic, so I had to find a way to do it. I joined Traffic Monsoon, and I just kept thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, how could I use this model and buy traffic? And then so this is kind of where this came up from. A lot of thinking went into this, but again, real simple plan. But this is what I did to create the money so I could buy traffic. So going on, this is what we're going to talk about. Some thinking tips, how you should be thinking, removing emotion out of it. We're going to be talking about the schedule. What the schedule simply is your ad pack number in Traffic Monsoon. Again, this is all centered around Traffic Monsoon, but there could be other rev shares that you could use in, as a replacement, or God forbid if something ever happens. So just understand that this framework can apply to multiple different opportunities, but for the sake of this presentation, going to be using Traffic Monsoon's model. Going to talk about the traffic buying money curve. This is most important. And this right here is the most important thing of this presentation I want you to get. The traffic buying money curve. So many people ask me, does traffic convert better than this traffic over here? Or does that traffic over there convert? I bought this solo ad and nobody's active and nobody signed up. I'm going to talk about that right here. And this is the most important thing I want you to get from this Hangout, is this traffic buying money curve. I coined that term myself. I don't know if someone else out there came up with this idea, but this is from my own experience, just putting it all together. And then again, once I'm done, you're going to know exactly where you're at in the process. The only difference between me and you, is time. The only difference, and I'm talking about as far as quote unquote success goes. Everyone has a different definition of success, but again, the only difference between me and you is time. I've been following this plan a little bit longer, and again, once we're done with this, you're going to know exactly where you're at and exactly what to do. Moving on. So this right here is the schedule. And actually, I think I mixed up the slides here. But before I get into the schedule, I just want to talk about the thinking. And the only point with the thinking is just to remove emotion from what we're doing here. Do not get attached to continuously buying ad packs for the sake of buying ad packs. Just do not get emotionally involved in the number. So many people say, I hit 50 ad packs, but I get depressed when I lost 10 and they're back down to 40 ad packs. You know, and there's so many people with different numbers who come to me with that. And it's just, look, I have worked my way up to 875 ad packs. And right now I'm letting all of my ad packs run out while I pay off my bills, and I'm still buying traffic. So what I'm doing is I'm actually letting everything run down. I'm still buying $5,300 a week in traffic, and I'm paying off my bills, and I got to live off of some money too. So, you know, do not get attached to your number of ad packs. Once you get over a certain amount of ad packs, and I'm going to throw out 500, the amount of ad packs you have is almost arbitrary when you have referral commissions. Well, Rob, how do I get referrals? Moving on. And this is exactly how we're going to do this. So just understand, don't get attached to the number of ad packs. And you want to think about this. As your ad packs grow and you like buying ad packs, and I will say some people get addicted to buying ad packs. You want to get addicted to buying traffic, outside traffic, as much as you're addicted to buying those ad packs. Say that again. You want to get as addicted to buying outside traffic as you are buying ad packs. Done. Now, Traffic Monsoon centered, but again, this can apply to any rev share model, any rev share out there. The point is to take it, to leverage it, whatever its individual model is, and to use that money elsewhere. Now, Traffic Monsoon, there's a couple of phases, and I've been through these phases myself. 0 to 10. 0 to 10, depending on your budget. Now, some people are looking at the slide. I got 2,000 ad packs, Rob. When you're going to, you know, cut to the chase, just bear with me for a while, just a couple minutes. 0 to 10 is really hard for a lot of people. And I'll just say this, 0 to 10 and 10 to 50 is the hardest for the majority of people out there. The majority of people who are going to be opting into your websites, learning about Traffic Monsoon, are going to have the most problems here. They're going to be, it's going to just drive some people bonkers. This is what I did. I bought 2 ad packs using another RevShare program. You can see my same thinking here. I used another RevShare model, and I bought my first 2 ad packs, and I just kept buying a new ad pack as whenever I could when I got to 10. Why do I stop at 10? I don't stop at 10, but I want you to understand that once you get to 10, it becomes a little easier. And again, this is for most people because some people out there have money. Some people come in with 100 packs right now today. So this doesn't apply to those people. This applies to the majority of folks out there. You have to understand who your market is and who you're speaking to. The average person who wants to make more money doesn't have 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, or even 8,000 or even $500 just laying around to start a business with. They're scraping around, and they might have an extra $50 in the bank. So again, 0 to 10 is the beginning phase. It's where you want to coach your new guys the most. Look, get to 10. And here's another thing. This is part of marketing too. When you tell people, oh, get to 100 ad packs, that's almost ridiculous to some people. Some people, that's just asinine. Get to 100 ad packs, I barely even got $100. So you see what I'm saying? So you have to draw little mile markers out for people and share people the same things I'm sharing with you. And again, this is the things that I've gone through on this journey. Once you get to 10, you can buy a new ad pack every 5 days. Then it's a little easier because what you can tell people is, look, get in, buy an ad pack every single week you can. Doesn't have to be every week, every other week, once a month, whenever. Some people, hey, Rob, I'm on Social Security. Okay, once a month, buy 2 ad packs. Do whatever it is you can. But once you get to 10, understand that you can buy a new ad pack every 5 days from profits based on current numbers. You see what I'm saying? So that gives people, okay, I'm getting a 10, and that's what I'm going to focus on. Do not focus. Do not do anything else. Do not do anything else until you get to 10 packs. And then just let people separate themselves, because some people will and some people won't. Some people will get to 5. Oh, there's this other rev share that's, cheaper or better or faster, or there's this other program. You only work with those people who actually make it to 10 and actually contact you. That's what I'll tell people. Look, do not worry about anything else until you have 10 active ad packs. Once you have 10 active ad packs, call me up, email me, throw a rock, do something. And it's funny, there's actually a lady who said, this is a rock in the email. And I just want to give that quick shout out that does get people's attention. Any which way, 10 to 50 is the next stretch. Again, this right here is emotional for some people. However, just tell people, look, every 5 days you can buy a new ad pack from profits. And what you should do here is, whenever you still can, add money. This is what I did. Whenever I had $30 and I had $20, I would top it off. Whenever I had $45, I would top it off. And I just kept doing that. And every single day, this started to get faster and faster and faster. Obviously, once you hit 50 ad packs, around that point, you should be able to buy a new ad pack every single day. Now, these are different mile markers to give people. Okay, just understand that. Now, based on a lot of feedback I got, I adjusted a few things here. In the past, I would tell people to get a Udemy solo ad at 50 ad packs. I'm changing that. Okay. In the past, I would tell people, once you got to 50 active ad packs, buy a Udemy solo ad every single week for $50. That's what I would tell people. The thing is, people get so freaked out when it comes to solo ads, and this is just all based on my feedback. If you have money, if you have 5,000 active ad packs or 2,000 or 1,500 or whatever the case, and you're experienced buying solo ads, then this portion is not necessarily for you. The portion you want to pay attention to is the next portion where I talk about the money slide, basically. Some people just can't get over that emotional attachment when it comes to this process of taking out money, because they think they're hurting themselves here to buy traffic elsewhere. So what I am now telling folks, based on that assessment, work your way to 50 to 200. And I know it's a little bit of a change, but the point is, there's a lot of folks out there who just, they don't want to buy traffic. They're so skeptical, and it takes everything in the world just to get them to this point. You see what I'm saying? And I'm sure some of you who are experienced, who've been around a little bit longer, you can kind of see this in your folks. Again, each person is different. But as a general rule, I'm just now telling folks, when you get to 50 active ad packs, you want to buy an ad pack every day till you get to 200, because 50 to 200 is not going to take you that long. You're buying a new ad pack every single day. This is going to go by fast. Okay. And you may, I don't think it's going to take 150 days to get to 50 to 200, because it's not set in stone, the earnings. But just understand, 50 to 200 is fast. And it's easier for folks, based on my feedback, to get to 50 to 200 than it is to get to 0 to 50. 0 to 10 I picked 10 because look, you can buy a new ad pack every 5 days. 10 to 50, boom, it's just going to start speeding up. Once you get to 50 and you're buying a new ad pack every single day, that's when you want to really hunker down, get to 200. Now, 200 plus ad packs, this is where we're going to start buying traffic. Now, some people are different. I tell some people at 100, but the majority of my folks, I tell now, get to 200. Why? Because people, number one, they aren't as emotionally attached because they have more money to play with. Number two, when they get to 200 plus ad packs, I tell them to take out $150 a week. When you have 200 ad packs, roughly, based on current numbers with no referrals, you'll be making roughly around $200 a day. $200 a day times, and I'm actually pulling up my calculator here. $200 a day times 7 days is $1,400, and you subtract a measly $150. You got $1,250 to buy ad packs. You see what I'm saying? So that $1,250 towards ad packs, you're buying 25 ad packs a week, and you're only taking out 150. So I hope you can see that difference of thinking there. When you have 200 active ad packs and you're making $200 a day, and only one day you're taking out $150, people are like, yeah, I can see that. They feel more confident in doing that. They don't think, oh my God, that's going to kill my ad pack growth and I'm not going to grow my ad packs. But when you have $200 a day coming in and only one day a week you're taking out 150, people are more so inclined to do that. Now, again, this is just based on my numbers. Not everyone is in this situation, but the majority of folks are. Okay? So that right there is the schedule. 0 to 10. If people got money, you want to get them past this phase as quickly as possible. But if they don't, give them these numbers. Work your way up to 10. Work your way up to 50. Get to 200. Work your way up to 10. Buy a new ad pack every 5 days. Once you get to 50, you can buy a new ad pack every day. Then, once you're buying an ad pack every day, get to 200, and then we're going to start buying our damn traffic. Now, here it is, my thinking slide. I want you to understand, this right here is only applying to the traffic monsoon model. The structure will always remain the same no matter what the rev sharing model is, but this framework here obviously applies to traffic monsoon, but there's some other rev shares out there that people are in. You should use them the exact same way. Get to a certain amount where you're earning a certain amount every single day, and then take out a portion and use that to buy traffic from an outside source, namely traffic for me, which you should be getting that link here soon. You should have got it already or after the webinar. That's one of the only 2 places I'm buying traffic at this moment. Structure remains the same. The point is you want to continuously build your list and remove emotion. Folks, when you buy a solo ad, you buy 1,000 clicks and you get 300 leads and nobody signs up, that was a successful solo ad. Not everyone is going to immediately come in and join and put money in the program. So you have to understand the most important thing is to build your list. Programs come and go, but you still need to build your list. Emotions come and go. You will feel happy. You will feel sad. You will feel angry. I know, because I felt all of those times 1,000 every single day. Some days I would get 0 signups and 0 anything and be so freaking angry. And then the next day, boom, you get 12 signups. So it fluctuates, but every single day you want to build your list. That is most important. That's more important than a program. That's more important than your emotions. Just keep building your list. The structure remains the same. one rev sharing opportunity to use, to leverage, to maintain a certain amount of income to take out money so you can buy traffic. Now, I'm going to bring up another slide here talking about my traffic buying money curve. Hopefully everyone's still with me here. Again, we're almost wrapping this up, but this right here is the most important slide and the most important thing you need to get. This right here. Now, this right here is call it the money line right here. This right here. Hopefully you can kind of see my mouse, sort of, but the line across the center of the screen, this line is the money line. Now, this right here is where the money comes in. This line, this little curve line right here that you see goes down. Hopefully you can kind of see my arrow, and then it goes up right here. This right here is the money line. Now, what happens? You are right here. This is you when you first start out. Hopefully you see my blurb here. Now, whenever folks opt into your list for the first time, this is your leads right up here. And I'm putting an arrow because I don't know if you can actually see my mouse here. But over here where you see the dollars, this is where you're moving people towards a buying decision. Okay? So you're right here. You spend $500 on 1,000 click solo ad. So you quote unquote are out of pocket $500. And I'm gonna just put a little, hopefully you kind of see my little blurb there, my little 5. So $500 you spent for 1,000 click solo ad, and you're out of pocket $500. Say you got 300 leads. Okay, 300 leads, no signups, $500 out of pocket. And understand that these numbers is what I'm going to talk about for the rest of this example. $500, 1,000 click solo ad, 50 cents a click. You get 300 leads every single time, 30% opt-in. That's fairly average, fairly. Now, here's what it is. You buy your first solo ad for $500. You're out of pocket $500, quote unquote. You get 300 leads on your autoresponder. When you get a lead, that is a cold person on the internet. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you're offering. They're skeptical. This is the umpteenth program they've tried. And so they're opting into another one of these pages. So they're a cold, hard lead. They don't know you. They don't know your situation. They don't know anything. It's your job to move that person from that cold, hard lead over here to becoming a warm, hot buyer. You see what I'm saying? That's going to take a while. So what do? Do you stop because you're out of pocket $500? No. You buy another solo ad for 500 more bucks, 1,000 clicks, and you get 300 more leads on your list. So now you have 600 leads. And this little blip right here is 600 leads. So now you have 600 leads you're starting to talk to. You're starting to communicate with. You're starting to move from a cold, hard lead to a warm, hot buyer. You see what I'm saying? So you're out $1,000. You got 600 folks on your list. Some people would say that traffic sucks. I didn't make any money. I didn't get any signups. This shit ain't working. The traffic sucks. I'm gonna go buy some new traffic over here, over there, all over the place until I find some traffic that works. Now, understand that the cold, hard lead and the hot buyer, that line is different for people. Some folks, that line is short. That means when they opt into your page, oh yeah, that sounds great. Bam, let me put down some cash. For some people, it's going to take a month On average, for me, I found that it takes most folks a month to move from that cold lead to that hot buyer. I've had a lady on my list for a year before she joined me in a $40 program, a whole year of getting emails. So just understand that. Now, what do? Do we stop buying traffic? No, we plop down another $500 for another 1,000 clicks. Now we have 900 leads on our list. Understand that these numbers, this is for sake of example, but again, these are averages. Every time I buy 1,000 clicks, on average, 30% opt-in. Sometimes it's 20, sometimes it's 40, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. You get the idea. So now I spent $1,500 here. I got 900 leads on my list that I'm talking to, that I'm communicating with, that I'm sharing my story, that I'm slowly moving from this cold hard lead who hates my guts to that hot, bothered buyer who can't wait to join my program. You see what I'm saying? So the same thing continues. Do we stop because we quote unquote lost $1,500? We blew $1,500 on traffic? No. Now, I hope you can understand why that rev sharing portion of this is so important. Some people they're afraid to part with cash. But if we're using a rev sharing model that's renewable money, we can blow through this curve. You see what I'm saying? The only difference between me and you is I've made it past here. I've bottomed out and I'm on my way up. Now, understand that now we bought our third solo ad in this example. People who've been on our list from our first solo ad are just now thinking about joining. One guy might have joined as a free member the very first day, and by the time you bought your fourth solo ad for $500, 1,000 more clicks, now you have 1,200 leads on your list. People over here are going to be joining slowly but surely because these folks are moving over here. They're getting hot and bothered. They see your exciting numbers on the screen. They see your email proofs. They're getting all excited. They're thinking, man, I should have joined you way back when you were making $1 a day. And now you're making $50 a day. What the hell was I thinking? How do I get started? You see what I'm saying? And so you spent, in this example, $2,000. You got 1,200 leads on your list. You think the system is not working. No, you're just at this point in the curve. Now, what's going to happen is this curve is going to bottom out at some point. When does it bottom out? I've heard a lot of estimates around 5,000 leads. Once you get around 5,000 leads on your autoresponder, folks are going to start joining and the money is going to start coming in. I can tell you, around 5,000 leads is when it starts to happen. Now, I didn't draw this example out perfectly enough, but you can see how this will continue to go. And besides, this money, if you follow my model, is coming from Traffic Monsoon. You see what I'm saying? You're using this money from Traffic Monsoon to buy traffic, and I will say from Traffic for Me, in the purpose of this video. And this is what's happening. You're going to buy another traffic, another solo ad, $500, 1,000 clicks. Those aren't the prices at Traffic for Me, but just understand that wherever you buy your traffic from, this is how it works. So you bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 solo ads. You spent what, $2,500, and now we have 1,500 leads on our autoresponder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, at some point, you're just going to keep buying this traffic, and this curve is going to level out. You're going to spend $500, and then people over here, your first 300 leads, your second 300 leads, your third 300 leads, these folks are going to start joining more and more because they're getting more bothered that you're making all this money in the rev share because you're emailing them about your Traffic Monsoon rev share. You're emailing them about how many leads you're getting. You're emailing them about what your plans are and who you are and how you're working from home and what you're doing to make this thing happen. More and more of these folks are going to start joining over time. And what's going to happen is if you just keep sticking it out, this curve is going to start curving upwards. Now, you're going to buy another solo ad, another $500. And again, you're at 1,800 leads in your autoresponder. You're going to make money at some point where this curve is going to go from, here to here, and then from here to here. It's going to start curving upwards. Some people will say, well, that's from this very special traffic source. No, that's from your list, your folks over here who are slowly moving to this buying decision. And the more leads you get here, the more they're going to start popping off on a daily basis. You see what I'm saying? So this new traffic, you might get immediate signups. Yes, they do happen. There's some cases I bought traffic and got immediate signups, but over time, that's when it always happens. Folks who have been on your list way back here will start joining. Folks, your second 300 will start joining. Folks from your third 300 leads will start joining. Folks from your fourth 300 leads will start joining. And then your money will start to increase. So you're spending $500 every time you buy traffic, and you go out of pocket 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, maybe 3,000, maybe 4,000, maybe it's 5,000. You go out of pocket. Again, we're using Traffic Monsoon profits, but if you just keep sticking it out, eventually this curve is going to curve upwards because that's what happened to me. Now I buy a $500 solo ad and I'm making $1,000 because of all of my old leads that I already had on my list that I was working for in the past few months. There's some people out there who say, oh, you buy a solo ad for $500, you should make $1,000. It doesn't happen, folks. That bullshit doesn't happen. It's all kind of marketing bullshit. And if it does happen, it hasn't happened to me. You know what I'm saying? The only way it has happened is because I survived here. I built my list. People started joining. Once people started joining, I started communicating from a state of power, and that influences more of these folks to join. You see what I'm saying? Remember that story, KB. Just play the numbers, and sooner or later, someone was going to go home with him. Sooner or later, someone was going to say, yeah, I'll dance with you. You know what I'm saying? And so now you'll get to this point right here where you buy a $500 solo ad, 1,000 clicks, 300 leads, and you'll make money. But that money will more than likely come from leads from your first, second, third, fourth, fifth solo ad. You'll buy your sixth solo ad, seventh, eighth, and then at some point you'll break even because the money you'll be bringing in will actually make up for all of the money you've been quote unquote spending. And understand that the money we were spending was Traffic Monsoon money. We only bought 10 active ad packs out of pocket. You see what I'm saying? We bought 10 active ad packs. We used profits to keep buying ad packs. And now we're using those profits to go through this phase right here. I've been through this phase right here. And now the only difference between me and you is I stuck out this phase, the moods, the depression, the anger, the annoyance, the wanting to throw my computer through a room, the dealing with, it's a scam, you're a jerk, don't email me, all of those moods, the comments from the mom-in-law, the comments from the wife, the walking to the bus stop and just getting so pissed off and angry at life. I've been through this phase. Once you remove emotion and just look at it for what it is, you know, if you're not making money, you're just on this part of the curve. And if you just stick it out, yes, it's going to bottom out. But if you just keep using that traffic monsoon money, you just keep buying traffic, eventually that curve is going to start going upwards. And sooner or later, you're going to be up here. To right now, you know, I'm spending, I've done my numbers. I'm earning roughly around 45K a month, and 20K of that I'm spending on traffic. And it's only going to increase because my residual income is it's still growing. You see what I'm saying? So that's why this thing works if you just stick it out. The Power Lead System money. At first, I was getting 20 bucks every other week. Now, I'm averaging 3,000 bucks a week from Power Lead System. It didn't just spike up. I didn't go from here straight there. That's a pipe dream. You're going to go from here down here. You're going to keep spending money, keep putting energy, keep putting energy into it, putting money into this thing. And eventually that thing is going to curve upwards. It's, you know, some people say it's like working out. In the beginning, you hate working out, but after a while, you're going to start to love it. And once you start loving it, your results are going to go through the roof. And so that's exactly how this thing works. This is how you're going to survive continuously buying traffic. And it's not even just buying traffic, even showing the plan to people, posting on Facebook, talking with people offline. You're going to go through a lot of rejections and no's, but after a while, it's going to bottom out when you learn the skills, when you remove emotion, and it's going to start going upwards. So just understand that. And the more traffic you buy, the more of these, you know, the more leads you get, the more you have a database of people who are going to start joining you. And again, the time for people to join is different. Some people will see a program the first time and they'll join. You'll get immediate signups here. And these folks all the way over here who have been, again, seeing your stuff day after day after day will start joining and popping off. So that being said, I'm going to wrap up that slide. That's the traffic buying money curve. And again, that right there is the most important thing I want you to get. With that being said, you should know exactly where you're at. You know how many ad packs you have. You know how many clicks you buy. You know how many clicks you have bought. The only thing you need to do is just execute, keep executing, and never stop executing. Just keep doing it. Just commit. You know what? Right now, the only thing I can afford is 150 bucks for 200 clicks every single week. I'm going to do that every single week without even thinking about it. It's already a done deal. That's what I did. And you know what happened? I was buying 200 clicks a week. 200, 200, 200, 200, 200. Then I got some profits. Then I could afford 500 clicks a week. And I just bought 500, 500, 500. Now I'm at 1,000. Now I'm buying 10,000 clicks a week, 5,300 bucks, not even thinking about it. It's done. And the profits will just keep growing in and of itself. So that being said, that concludes my little presentation there. I'm gonna go back to this Google room. I just hope that you folks got some good value out of that. I'm going to try and figure out how to get out of this screen share deal here. But that's really it. If you just take what I shared with you and just apply it, that's it. All you have to do is just keep executing. You know where you're at. You know how many ad packs. You know what budget, what you can afford. The reason I like traffic for me is because you can set a budget. The clicks, when you're dealing with solo ads, some prices are high, some prices are low. You're dealing with different vendors. You know, traffic for me, it's set. I know I'm going to pay this amount per click. It's already a budget in my head. It's easy. It's a done deal. I don't have to think about it. Buy traffic, send it to your capture page, and live your life. It should be just that simple. And that's easy for other folks to do as well. So again, I just want you to get that. I'm wrapping this hang up right now. Again, I still working with this chat thing, so I don't know how, if you have questions. But again, just understand that is it. That's all you have to do. And I think I did open it up correctly. Q&A session. If you have questions, you know my email. Shoot me an email. This is going to be uploaded on YouTube. And again, you should be able to, get on YouTube, email me, let me know on Facebook if you have questions. I'm just clicking around, see if I can get back to that. There's a room here I can actually open up and see if anyone has questions. What's the email? My email address. Don't be putting this stuff out there. I already get a lot of emails. It's Rob Fraser, ROBFRASER, my email, ROBFRASER 33 at gmail.com. And I seen one of the rooms, just seeing if there's any other questions in there that I may see. But again, if you have any other questions, you should know where you're at. Once you set up your marketing system, just commit to the traffic, man. You know where you're at. You know how many ad packs you have. And once you hit those numbers, 10, 50, then 200, just keep buying the traffic, because that's the only thing I did. So again, I think I've seen something right now. Traffic monsoon, my own personal progress. Keeps clicking around here, screen sharing and stuff. My own personal progress today. I think my ad packs are falling off. They fall off kind of fast. And it's you go through a little emotion, if you will, but when you understand the bigger picture or whatever it is you're doing, then that quickly goes away. So right now, 358, 9 active referrals. And I figured it out. Even if I had 0 ad packs, I would still be making around $1,400 a day. And that's just referral commissions. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, well, my ad packs is actually a small amount of the total money that I am getting from Traffic Monsoon. So, even $1,300 a day, even if I let my ad packs go down to 0, I could quickly rebuild back up. Even if they did, I would just say, you know what, screw it, $1,300 a day. I'd give myself $300 a day, buy 15 ad packs a day, and use the rest for traffic, and just go from there. And just be that cold and calculated about it. So that being said, I'm gonna end the broadcast right now. Again, I appreciate you folks for coming out, sending some time. Facebook, email, throw that email rock. That was funny. I think it was I think her name was Holly. Connect with me on Facebook. Just don't be mad if I don't get back with you. It's just I got so many people asking me different things, and I'm trying to put out so much content to help people, and it's just I need to start hiring folks. But again, just follow the plan. That's it. And that being said, I see a couple of questions. What lead capture page? And the thing is, I believe in high volume. If you email me, I'll share with you my own personal details. But my thing is, I just hammer traffic. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be my share code. You can be using my share code, Ari share code, Frank share code, make your own funnel. It really doesn't matter, because if you're constantly slamming the traffic, eventually you're going to start getting signups. Once you start getting signups, you'll want to start making your own videos, you'll start to want to make your own funnel, and that will be more powerful than any other thing you could do. Understand that. So in the beginning, you're just going to have to slam it until you start getting signups. And then once you start getting signups, you'll have more confidence, you'll have more authority, you'll know how to speak, you'll be more in control of yourself and your emotions, and that will permeate everything you do, and you'll start getting more signups because of that, and it will just keep growing on itself. That being said, thank you for showing up. I'm gonna end the hangout right now. Again, appreciate it. Again, just follow the plan, guys. That's all I did. We'll talk soon.